Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Kareem, and happy Mother's Day. Y'all surprised to see me? Sammy Kadovic had actually called me and asked me to do this video. Why? Because he wanted a male perspective on cooking. Since we all know, women are wonderful cooks, but men are the best chefs. Today, what we are going to be cooking for you is a scallop sashimi with Meyer lemon confit and a farfal pasta with lamb Dijon ragu. Psych! I'm just kidding. I have no idea what I even just said or what that even is. By the way, I was kidding about men being better cooks than women. Don't bite my head off. It's a joke. Okay, it's just a joke. I suck in the kitchen. I don't know what I'm doing here. I only know how to make a few little things, and that's why I'm here. Because a few little things I do know how to make is what I'm going to show you, and it's so easy, it's so tasty, it's so good, it's so satisfying. Everyone's going to be satisfied with today's recipe. Ladies, I know you're out there watching. What I want you to do is call all the rest of your family. Your father, your husband, your sons, your daughters, call them all because they're going to be making this for you. It's Mother's Day. It's a special day and we want to make it a fun day. All right? So we are going to be making a very, very fun recipe today. So with that being said, this is what we're making. Drum roll, please. Smashed burgers with fingerling potatoes and a mushroom onion saute. Okay, now a regular burger, we basically take some ground beef, make it into a ball, and we press it into a patty, right? It's a nice compressed patty that we then sear either on the stove or on a grill or whatever it is, right? We cook it for 8 to 9 minutes on one side, flip it over 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes on the other side. A smashed burger is a little different. We still take the ground beef into a ball, but it's got to be a very loose meatball. Okay, we don't want to squish it. We don't want to compress it. We need to have space and air inside. The idea being is when we press the ground beef into the hot pan, all right, it sears the underside of that meat. And once it sears it, it retains all the juices on the inside. And because we're flattening it out, the surface area increases and the thickness decreases. It makes it very thin. So there's no concern about undercooking it. All these burgers are well done, all right? So that's the whole concept of what a smashed burger is. And trust me, it tastes just as good. Now, some of the tools that we're gonna need. First and foremost, pans. Ideally, if you can use a cast iron skillet, these things retain heat the best, and especially when it comes to searing meats, these work really well. Otherwise, stainless steel is fine. You know, and if you got Teflon, fine. One of those coated ones, you know, but these two are probably the best. Ideally, if you want to use a cast iron. You want to use something to press the meat. Now, I have this burger press that's used to make patties. This is nice because it's a one-handed job. I can just press right down on it. And if you have one of these, great. If not, no worries. Spatulas. You'll need 2 spatulas, so you'll need to use both your hands. Now, I have a burger flipper. If you have one of these, this is ideal. Otherwise, 2 regular spatulas is just as fine. Okay, the idea is going to be we're going to press with one and use the other one to press the spatula in. All right. During the video, when we go through the actual cooking of the meat, I'll do both. I'll show you both. For the ground beef, we're going to want 80% lean, 20% fat. Anything less than this is not going to be a very good burger. Got this from ShopRite. You can see the halal sticker on there. This is a very good meat. Also going to need buns, brioche buns, ideally. Any other buns is fine. But the big thing is the cheese. We want to make sure we use American cheese. It melts the best and it tastes the best on these burgers. We also have a sauce, which I'm going to show you how to make. This is a very simple sauce, but it's got pretty much everything you need in a burger in it. All right, for the sauce, it's a very simple sauce. It's pretty much everything that goes in a burger. We're just going to blend it all together. So I'm going to start by putting in some pickles. I'm just chopping them up real fine right here. 2 or 3 pickles at the most. Just chop them up real fine. You could use a chopper if you have one. After that, we're going to put mayonnaise. Now, mayonnaise, this is a must. You have to put this as your base ingredient. 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. A little bit of mustard. I like a lot of mustard in my burger, so I'm putting more than typical. But you can adjust that to your taste. Same thing with the hot sauce. I like my stuff spicy, so I'm going a little crazy here, but you can adjust it according to your own taste. You don't have to put as much as I did. A little bit of ketchup. And then the pickles that we just chopped together, we're going to take that, throw it in here as well. And to top it off at the end, what I would recommend is pickle juice. Take some of that pickle juice that's in that jar and just pour a little bit in there, and that's it. And then mix well. And when you're done, that's it. That's the sauce. Next, we're going to work on the meat. The packaging that I got my meat in holds the ground beef nice and tight together. We don't necessarily want that when we're making smash burger. So I just took it out of the packaging. I'm just kind of breaking it up into small little bits. So when we do make our meatballs, they're not necessarily very tight. We're kind of giving the beef a little bit of room to breathe. We want a little bit of air and space in between all the pieces of meat when we do put it together. Next, we're going to start making our meatballs. We just take a little bit of that meat, and we're just going to start very gently pressing it together. I just want the meat to hold its shape. I'm really not looking to pack it like a snowball. Just kind of press it in. You know, you can see all the little cracks and crevices that are inside there. That's what we want. We want a little bit of space. I usually use about 3 to 4 ounces. For me, I kind of use my knuckles as a measure. Not a little bit too much there, so I'll take a little bit off. But that's it, and all we want is a very loosely packed meatball. You can see here, look at all these cracks, look at all these crevices inside. That's what we want. That's essentially what's going to allow us to cook this the way we want it to cook. Then a little bit of salt, a little bit of cracked black pepper. That's it. Guys, if you put anything else, you're making a meatloaf or you're making a kebab. You know, I mean, for burgers, it's salt and pepper. That's it. Nothing fancy. You know, all the fixings that we're going to be putting on later on, that essentially makes the burger. Okay. Now it's showtime. We want the pan to be really hot. I have this almost to max heat. You can see I'm putting some water on there. You can see it evaporate right away. That's how I know that this pan is super hot. We're going to put a little bit of oil. Again, we want to sear the meat. So the oil, once the pan is hot, then you put the oil. It will help sear the meat. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more. It's not as much as I'd like. But we just want just enough to coat the bottom of the pan, nothing crazy. You're not really frying this thing. It's just really going to help sear the meat. Then we take our meatball. We place it on the pan. I just wait 3, 4, 5 seconds. Now in this case, I have my burger press. And I am just going to press down. I'm going to press down hard. I want this thing to really make good contact with the pan. I just want all those proteins and fats and so on to really just sear, press right up against the bottom of that pan. So I'm really kind of pressing, you know, doing a good amount of pressing on here. And you can see all that steam coming off to the side. You know it's making really good contact. Now, people don't have the burger press, so I'll show you how we can do it with spatulas. Again, same thing. Press that down. I have one spatula, in this case my burger flipper. All right, and then I have the other one. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, again, same thing. Press down and press down hard, and use the other spatula to press the other spatula down. Okay, and it's just a nice little way of pressing everything, so it's really making good contact, solid contact with the bottom of that pan. Okay, you can keep pressing here and there just to make sure it's flattened. We don't want it to be too thick either. You just want to flatten that whole thing out, and then now we're just going to let it sit. Now we just wait 2, maybe 3 minutes, and I'll show you when it's done. So it's been about 2 minutes now since we put the burgers on the pan. I want you to pay attention to all the juices that have come to the surface over here. See those juices essentially is what the searing method does. It makes sure that the juices come to the surface and not leak out. This is the point where we want to flip the burger, and oh, look at that. All that nice crusty browning all on the underside of that burger. That's what we want. Looks so nice. Okay, we're going to put a piece of cheese on this burger at this point. Okay. If you look at the other patty over here, same thing. You can see the edges are nice and brown, the kind of grayish brownish in color, and all the juices are at the top. That's how we know it's time to flip. Oh, look at that. That looks so good, man. That's going to taste so good. I got to wait a couple hours, man, before I dig into this thing. But anywho, at this point, this is where we want to take the cheese. We want to place the cheese on top.
and then turn off the heat. You know, we're just going to turn off the heat and let it cook the rest of the way. The cheese should melt. Once it's melted, then we're going to put it on the bun. Let's get the bun ready. We have our brioche. Take some of our sauce, lay it down on both sides of the bun, just like that. A little bit more. Yeah, there we go. All right, we put that down. Now let's see if the cheese is ready. Not quite. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover it with a lid, and that'll just kind of speed up the the melting of the cheese a little bit. I'm just going to cover it just like that, just for like a minute or two. This doesn't do anything with the cooking. All it's really doing is just keeping the heat inside. Just kind of speeding up melting of the cheese a little bit. And once that's done, we are good to go. Okay. Again, look at that, nice and glossy cheese. That's why we want to use American cheese. It just melts really nice on these kinds of burgers. I know it's not the best cheese to use, but you know, like I said, today's supposed to be a fun day. Let's eat something fun. This is kind of fun to eat. All right, 2 burgers on top, 2 patties, and voila. Oh, dang. Some of the sauce fell off. A little too much sauce I put on. There. All right, this side looks better. All right, there we go. That's our burger. I'll cut into it in a second. All right, let's cut into it. Let's see what we got. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. All that cheese. It's all melted on the inside with that sauce. You know, with all that juiciness locked inside that patty. Oh, that's going to be so good. This was the burger I had made earlier. Just wanted to show this mushroom and onion saute that I'm going to show you how to make later on. You can place that on top of that burger. It actually, if you like mushrooms and onions, this is a very, very good saute to put on top. Look at that. Trust me, it tastes really good. Next, I'm going to show you how to make a quick little saute with some mushrooms, some onions, some garlic, and then we're going to have as a side dish fingerling potatoes. These are the closest things to French fries without actually being French fries. They're nice and narrow. We boil them from beforehand, just to kind of cook them up a little bit. They boil pretty quick, I'd say within 5 minutes or so. Then we cut them in half, and then then we're going to stick them into the pan. The ingredients are pretty simple as well. We're going to put a little bit of butter, some chili flakes, some olive oil, salt, and black pepper. That's it. Nothing fancy. All right, now these potatoes are ready to go onto the pan. I'm going to preheat the pan from beforehand. Once it's nice and hot, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil onto the bottom of that pan. And then we're going to take the potatoes and we are going to put the cut side down, okay? We want this medium-high heat. Remember, these things are already cooked. So we just want to get a nice char, a nice sear on the bottom of these things to, just to kind of texturize it a little bit, make it a little bit more crunchy. So just put them all flesh side down, just like this. And we're going to let it sit here for 3-4 minutes or so, 5 minutes, just so we can get like a nice char on the bottom of that, a nice golden color. And once 5 minutes is up, that's what they should look like, something like that. Nice crisp char on the other side. You know, and once that's done, then we just mix them up onto the pan, let them cook a little bit more, and we're good to go. And we're done. Potatoes are done.
Okay, and that's it. I really wish I can show you, I wish I could really eat this thing right now, but unfortunately I gotta wait another 3 hours or so before Iftar. I'm gonna have to wait. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy it. It is very simple, it is very easy. Again, nothing fancy. This isn't a gourmet burger or anything like that, but it is a very good, tasty burger that you can make at home. Otherwise, let me know how it turns out. Jazakallah khair, Ramadan Kareem, and again, happy Mother's Day.